Hello and welcome to my presentation. My name is NAFEESA and today I will be presenting my LAN350 Independence Landscape Design Project. My proposal is a climate-responsive transit-oriented landscape located at MRT COCHRANE and PPR LAKSAMANA in Kuala Lumpur. I selected this site because it sits in a dense urban setting surrounded by residential, commercial and transit developments, giving it immense potential to become a vibrant community public realm. However, to understand how to maximize this potential, I first look at two successful precedent studies. First, the TRX MRT Plaza in Kuala Lumpur, which taught me the value of integrating mixed-use developments with a pedestrian priority environment and shaded walkways to improve microclimate comfort. Second, the Tenri Station Plaza in Japan, which brilliantly transformed a standard transit forecourt into a multifunctional landscape design using tired circular forms and waterscapes to encourage social interaction. These precedents prove that transit areas can be much more than just space for movement. They can be climate responsive, socially active environments. Despite its strategic location, a detailed site analysis revealed several critical issues holding the MRT COCHRANE site back. Culturally and physically, the site suffers from a car-centric dominance. Large portion of roads and parking reinforce a layout that marginalize pedestrians. We also identified severe urban heat island intensification due to extensive impervious surface, leaving pedestrians exposed to extreme thermal discomfort. Hydrologically, the site's flat terrain and silt surface lead to high surface runoff, causing documented flood events along Jalan COCHRANE. To solve these issues, my design introduced specific solutions. We transitioned the MRT area into an activated transit plaza with a clear green spine. We convert heat-trapping asphalt into a green adaptive parking park using permeable surface. We also introduced an open-air social connector bridge and a pedestrian green street outfit with phytoremediation to manage stormwater and improve walkability. This brings us to the core synthesis of the project. My overarching design theme is transit-oriented living, seamless and resilient city. The goal is to create an urban framework that promotes seamless connectivity while strengthening resilience against flooding and urban heat. For this theme, I developed my main concept, Velterra Matrix Flow. Velterra Matrix Flow envisions the city as an interconnected system. It merges velocity, representing transport, mobility, and flow with Terra, representing landscape, environment, and living structures. My strategy relies on these three main ideas. First, implementing blue-green infrastructure like bioswales to manage urban runoff. Second, improving the urban microclimate through shade canopy planting and vertical greening. Third, enhancing integrated mobility via a micro-mobility network and fine-grained pedestrian path. Before diving into the specific sections, let's look at the overall master plan, which is driven by our theme of transit-oriented living, seamless and resilient city. The design aims to seamlessly bridge the transit infrastructure with the surrounding community. For my design enlargement, I focus specifically on the raised platform area. This zone acts as the beating heart of the site. It integrates three major components: the sunken water cascade, the central gathering space known as the matrix node, and a dedicated micro-mobility station to connect commuters to the wider neighborhood. Let's walk through the master plan to see how Velterra Matrix Flow comes to life. At the heart of the site is the MRT entrance plaza and matrix node. As seen in my section, this activated plaza integrates seating, dense planting, and a multi-level gathering space to enhance the arrival experience. Moving outward, we tackle the flooding and heat issues with the sunken water cascade and green adaptive parking. As illustrated in section, the adaptive parking utilizes a tree grid and permeable surface, reducing the thermal impact of traditional parking while managing stormwater. To ensure seamless movement, I designed the green connector link, an elevated pedestrian pathway that provides continuous, shaded movement linking the MRT station directly with surrounding commercial and residential destinations. To ensure the design serves the local community, this section specifically examines the PPR LAKSAMANA interface. Here, I have introduced a rooftop garden to provide residents with elevated green space and a sunken play court at ground level. This sunken area provides a sheltered, safe and active zone for children, creating a community anchor that feels private yet remains integrated into a broader public landscape. Finally, looking at this section along Jalan Cochrane, I transformed the streetscape into a multimodal transit hub. We integrate micro-mobility lanes, dedicated bus station and linear biospheres. This completely changed the street from a car-dominated road into a blue-green corridor that managed water and prioritized human comfort. A successful climate-responsive design relies heavily on its planting palette. My strategy is driven by high-performance urban forestry. To combat the heat island effect, I selected broad canopy shade trees like the Terminalia catapa, which is ketapang, and Sweetenia microphylla, which is big leaf mahogany, to provide dense evergreen shade. To establish visual landmarks and seasonal interests, I incorporate flowering trees like Tabebuia rosea, which is pink trumpet tree, and Jacaranda mimosifolia. For ecological and stormwater management within our biospheres, I utilize water edge planting like the Hymenocallis littoralis, which is spider lily, which thrive in fluctuating water levels and aids in infiltration. Collectively, this multi-layered matrix restores fragmented biodiversity and creates essential cooling pockets for the community. This project leverages functional landscape architecture to directly support the Sustainable Development Goals. I want to highlight two main initiatives. First, the biosphere system. By actively managing urban stormwater runoff and filtering pollutants before they reach the municipal drains, this system directly answers SDG 6, which is clean water and sanitation, SDG 11, sustainable cities and communities, and SDG 13, which is climate action. Second, the micro-mobility station. Providing dedicated infrastructure for active non-motorized transport supports SDG 3, good health and well-being, by promoting physical activity. It also drives SDG 9, which is industry, innovation and infrastructure, alongside SDGs 11, which is sustainable cities and communities, and SDG 13, which is climate action. The true specialty of this design comes down to two defining features. First is micro-mobility integration. By building a dedicated hub and lanes for alternative transport, we are actively reducing car dependency in a highly congested area, which directly lowers local carbon emissions. Second, the sunken water cascade. Transit hubs are usually transient space that people just rush through. The water cascade acts as a signature attraction and a microclimate cooler. It transformed the plaza into a destination, encouraging people to actually stay, interact, and bring life to the space. In conclusion, the MRT Cochrane and PPR LAKSAMANA site has incredible potential that is currently buried under asphalt and inefficient infrastructure. Through the Velterra matrix flow concept, this project proved that we can stitch together fragmented urban spaces. By integrating robust blue-green infrastructure with transit-oriented design, we can create a resilient, seamless city that prioritizes ecology, mobility, and above all, the well-being of its community. The research, site data, and design methodologies presented in this video were developed as part of the LAN350 Independent Landscape Design Studio project. Thank you for your time and attention.